I'm Mike Walter in Washington, where voices from all across America are being heard on an important healthcare crisis. People are pushing for passage of H.R. 2002, the Medicare Patient IVIG Access Act. If passed, it would restore access to all patients in all sites of care. It's an important healthcare issue, as illustrated by this Maryland mom who had to fight her insurance company to get access to IVIG in the home care setting. She won her battle and now is receiving that life-saving therapy with the one brand that does not cause an adverse allergic reaction. Her story is emblematic of the fights being waged every day all across America. It's called Liquid Gold. Every 3 weeks, Melissa Schweitzer of Maryland gets one of these infusions to help fight off life-threatening infections. She has a primary immunodeficiency disease, and IVIG replaces her missing immune globulins.
Like I said, it allowed me to live a normal life, and has for over 20 years now.
Schweitzer is one of the hundreds of thousands of patients who depend on this life-saving therapy. Recently, patients, advocates, and doctors converged on Capitol Hill to plead for passage of the Medicare Patient IVIG Access Act.
You know, here's the bottom line. Republicans are dying, Democrats are dying, independents are dying, and probably unregistereds are dying. And that's about as bipartisan as you can get.
And it's not just voters who are affected.
I felt this issue was important enough to leave session at our most busy time to be here for this press conference and bill introduction, because I know how IVIG changed my life.
Lawmakers and staffers also rely on IVIG.
IVIG is amazing. It, for me, is the dividing line between ability and disability. We've got to keep it available to patients that need it.
Since 2005, a change in the Medicare law has inadvertently but significantly reduced the coverage for IVIG and made it harder for patients to find an IVIG provider.
And I thank God that I'm able to be here. That's all. Please fix it.
It has been frustrating for doctors.
So the question that we ask ourselves here is that why bother even looking for these patients if we cannot guarantee accessibility to treat them?
I personally lost a patient as a result of not being able to provide care for the patient.
Key lawmakers are answering the call to do something about it.
If the money was there for financial recovery, the money can be there for a human recovery.
Patient groups are united. Both parties are united. We've got the right solution in this bill, and we're long overdue to get this done. So I'm excited this year we get this done.
Patient advocates believe it's time for action.
No more patients can suffer anymore. And so every single day that a patient goes without their life-saving therapy is one more day that we can lose them.
I mean, it's a terrible situation when you see basically helpless people having to suffer because the government doesn't want to pay for care that they need.
People who did not ask to be born with a primary immune deficiency and who have a therapy that saves their lives are now having to beg for it, and that is just wrong.
There's so few treatments, so few options for the neuropathy community in general. And not only do you have a treatment, it's a treatment that is directly impacting the neuropathy itself, whereas many of the other options for neuropathy patients only treat the symptoms.
Hi, sweetie.
Everyone involved in this issue knows IVIG is a lifeline for people like Schweitzer. And every time she hugs her children, she thinks about what would happen if she was denied access.
I worry about it constantly.
You're my dolly.
Luckily, this is a story with a happy ending. She was able to get her IVIG access restored, but all too often, patients all across the country are having it denied. You heard the Lieutenant Colonel, please fix it. He fought for his country. Now it's time to fight for him and patients just like him all across the country. Make sure your voice is heard. Contact your House member and your 2 senators. Urge them to support this bill. Ask them to co-sponsor this legislation. We can fix this problem with your help. I'm Mike Walter with this IVIG Access Report.